Hello, welcome to this video series on number system. Today we will be looking into concepts of divisibility test of different numbers. So first we'll start with the numbers which are in the form of 2 raised to power n. So let us see. So any number will be divisible by a number of the form of 2 raised to power n if and only if the number formed by the last n digits is divisible by 2 raised to power n. So what does this mean? Okay, so suppose I have written an example 1, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. So suppose if I want to check whether this number is divisible by 4 or not. So since 4 can be written as 2 raised to power 2. So what I check? I just check the last two digits of the number. If this is divisible, which is 56. If 56 is divisible by 4, then the whole number 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be divisible by 4. Similarly, if I have to check the divisibility of the same number with 8, so 8 I can write as 2 raised to power 3. So I now consider the last three digits because power is 3. So 4, I check whether 4, 5, 6 is divisible by 8. So this is 8 5 is 40, 5 8 7 is 56. So this is divisible by 8 also. So hence the whole number, that is 1 3 4 5 6 will be divisible by 8. So this is the basic concept of this 2 raised to power n divisibility test. So now we'll try to understand the logic behind the same. Okay, why is this so? And first of all, before even coming to this, we should know what is the divisibility test. Divisibility test is a certain set of rules through which we can quickly identify whether a given number divides another number or not. So now let's come back to divisibility rule for 2 raised to power n. So one more basic concept I just try to, on this same number 1 3 4 5 6. So can I not write this as 1 into 10 raised to power 4 plus 3 raised to power 10 raised to power 3 plus 4 raised into 10 raised to power 2 plus 5 into 10 raised to power 2 plus 6 into 10 raised to power, sorry, here it would 10 over 1 0. So this is the one way of writing a number in the form, sorry, some, this is the way of writing a number. Further, this can also be written as this form. I take 2 as an, so 13 into 10 raised to power 3 plus 45 into 10 raised to power 1, but after 45 only one digit is there, so 10 raised to power 1 plus 6 into 10 raised to power 0. So this is another form, another way of writing the same number. Further, this can be written as 134. If I take three numbers, so 134 into 10 raised to power 2, because there are, after 134 only two digits are remaining, plus 56 into 10 raised to power 0. So any which way form we can write this as a multiple of 10 raised to power some index. So this is the basic understanding which we wanted to know before proceeding on to understand the basics of this rule. So now the rule says that any number will be divisible by another number of form 2 raised to power n if and only if the number formed by its last n digit is divisible by 2 raised to power n. So why is it so? So now I will take a generic example. Say the number be a, b, c, d, e, f, right? So can I not write, and let us say the divisibility test for 2 I discuss. Test for 2 raised to power 1. So I can write this as a into 10 raised to power 5 plus b into 10 raised to power 4 plus c into 10 raised to power 3 plus d into 10 raised to power 2 plus e into 10 raised to power 1. plus f. So this is the number, right? So this number, now if I want to divide this number n by 2, so what would it be? By 2 plus b into 10 raised to power 4 by 2 plus c into 10 raised to power 3 by 2 by 2 plus e into 10 raised to power 1 by 2 plus f. So now see, on the individual here, this term will be divisible by 2 because it has a power of 10. So all the terms are nothing but up till here. All the terms, individual terms, can be divided by 2 because every term has a at least one power of 10. So these are multiple of 2. So only we should be concerned about the last term, which is f. So we have to check whether that last term is divisible or not by 2, right? So if the last term is divisible by 2, then the whole number will be divisible by 2. uh, 2. So if the this last term f, if f is a digit which is divisible by 2, then whole n can be divisible by 2. So for that reason we say if the divisibility test of 2 is, we will just consider the unit place digit. If unit place digit is divisible by 2, then the number, whole number will be divisible by 2. So from here we can deduce the same. So for 2, what we see, the unit digit, if unit digit is divisible by 2, then n is also divisible by 2. So this is the way, this we have seen. Now we'll move to another say, I mean, now we check for 4. I divide this into two category, one for 2 and another for 8, we will say, sorry, 4 and 8. So let us check for 4. Divisibility test for 2 raised to power 2. So let the n be a, b, c, d, e. So this we can write as a into 10 raised to power 4 plus b into 10 raised to power 3 plus c into 10 raised to power 2 plus d into 10 plus e, right? This is the way we can expand this number n. Now if I want to check whether this n is divisible by 4, I divide n by 4. So on the, now see here, anyway, what I do by 4. So did you mean the individual? Now see, the first term here, 4 will divide 10 raised to power 4 250 times. So here remainder is 0. Here 4 will divide 1000 also 250 times. Sorry, here 250 times, and here 25. Here 2500 times. Here 250 times. Here also 4 will divide 1000. Remainder would be 0. It, in this case, it is c into 100. 100 again is divisible by 4. So this again remainder would be 0. So only we have to check now if n has to be divisible by 4. These last two terms, which is nothing but this, we can write as DE, right? DE. So if last two term is divisible by 4, then the number n will be divisible by 4. So that is why, so test for 2 square is if last two digit is divisible by 4, then n will be divisible by 4. So this is the test for 2 square. This also we derived. Now finally we again just we'll check one more test. I mean test for 2 raised to power 3, and then we can generalize. So again the same example we'll take. N is equal to a, B, C, D, E. So this can further be expanded into A into 10 raised to power 4 plus B into 10 raised to power 3 plus C into 10 raised to power 2 plus D into 10 plus E. This is the expansion. Now n when divided by 8 will be what? 10 raised to power 4 by 8 plus B into 10 raised to power 3 by 8 plus C into 10 raised to power 2 by 8 plus D into 10 plus E. Again, we'll check individual terms. Here 8 will divide 10 raised to power 4. So remainder is 0. 8 will divide 1000 also 125 times. So this is now here in this case it's not necessary that this number C into 100 will be divided by 8, because compulsorily we cannot say, because 100 is not divisible by 8, there will be a remainder of 4. So here remainder not necessary 0, and same here d into 10 not necessary 0, not necessary 0. So basically remainder whatever, I mean, so what we'll have to see, we will have to check whether CDE, the last three terms, is divisible or not by 8. So if whatever, if last three digit is divisible by 8, then n will be divisible by 8, or whatever remainder the last three digit gives upon division by 8, that will be the remainder when n will be divided by 8. So this way we can write for 2 raised to power 3, check for last three digits. So similarly we can generalize if divisor is 2 raised to power n, so check for last n digits of a number. So this way we have seen and generalized this concept. So now we will see some example. I mean here also, I mean we can check an example. Let us see one example to illustrate this. I check whether just for 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So whether this number is divisible by 4 or not. So since 56, because for 4 we will just see the last two digits. 56 is divisible by 4, remainder is 0. Hence this number is divisible, full number is divisible by, so it means 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 4, remainder would be 0. Similarly the same number if we see here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 8. Now let us see, so to check the divisibility we'll just check the last three digits. What is the remainder? 8 5 is 40, 5 7 is, so remainder again is 0. So this implies 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 8, the remainder would be 0. So this is just for I mean sample illustration. We just see much more complex examples going forward. So now one illustration is if a one digit number is written the first n natural numbers next to each other. Find the remainder when the number is divided by 32. So see, again this is a very good question. Herein it says that first n natural number, which is 1, 2, 3, first n natural numbers are written next to each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so on. Now this will go up to certain number, such that the number of digits in this number n is one digit. So can we say from here 1 to 9, the number of digits is 9, number of digits is 9, and from here the number of digits should be how much? 111 minus 9, which is 102. 102 and all. So till what number will this series continue? Because all the numbers are two digit here, 10, 11, 12, that way. So if I write 10, it gives two digit. 11, if I write, it gives two digits. So 2 plus 2, 4. So basically, I want 51 numbers so that the total digits become 102. So 51 numbers from 10 to some number. So this becomes 60, right? It will go up to 60 because 10 to 60, 10, 11, 12, up to 60, there are 51 numbers. So 51 numbers means 102 digits. So thereby we have formed the number now. Now find the remainder when the number is divided by 32. So it is 50. So I mean a few digits before this should be 58, 59. So this way we have formed the number. So now we have to find the remainder when n is divided by 32. And 32 we know is 2 raised to power 5. So as per the rule, we just check with the last 5 digits. So that means we will not check whole number. I mean, we just concentrate on the last 5 digits from here to here. So that means 85960 upon 32. If this divides the number, then our purpose is solved. So let us check this. I 85960 by 32. Here, let us 4 will divide because we know last two digit is 60, so 4 must divide. Even 8 will divide. So I'll try with 8 first. So 8 4 ja 32 and 8 1 ja 1 0, 8 7 ja 56 3, 8 4 ja 32 4, 8 5 ja. So yeah, now since the last digit is odd, it will not be divisible by 4. Well, uh, for this number to be divisible, further divisible by 4, the last two digits should be divisible, which is not the case here. So now we will find the remainder of 10745 divided by 4. What will be the remainder? We just check with the last two digits. So 45 by 4, the remainder would be 1. So 1 into, but here we had cancelled out 8 from both numerator and denominator. So that we will multiply here. So remainder becomes 8. Remainder is nothing but 8. Right. Those of you who are finding difficult to comprehend why the remainder is there, you may refer to our session on remainder theorems. But I think this is basic, very basic and quite easily comprehensible. So not to worry much here. Now we'll move to the next question. So next process or rule, basically thumb rule is for rules of 3 and 9. So this we will see again. So rules of 3 and 9 concentrates around. So before coming to 3 and 9, I just summarize for 2. So a number will be divisible by 2 only if the last digit is divisible by 2, which is, I mean, basically even number, right? 4 if last two digits, 8 similarly last three digits. So this way we have seen this. Okay, now we will see the rules for 3 and 9. What is it? Any number will be divisible by 3 or 9 if and only if the sum of the digits of the number is divisible by 3 or 9. What does this mean? I just take some example and then I'll show this. See, I mean 1, 3, 5, 7, 2. So if I have to check whether this number is divisible by 3, what I do, I add the numbers on the digits. 1 plus 3, 4 plus 5, 9 plus 7, 16 plus 2, 18. So sum is coming, digit sum is coming as 18. And since 18 is divisible by 3, so this number n is divisible by 3, this we can say. So there are two actually concepts here. Sum of digits is nothing but 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 2, which is 18. And there is then digit sum. Digit sum is nothing but I mean, keep on adding the digits till it arrives in a single digit. So let us see what happens. 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 2 added to 18. This will further will add these two digits, 8 plus 1, 9. So we can check, I mean, both the things will give the divisibility test. Either if the sum of the digits is divisible by 3 or 9, then the number would be divisible by 3 or 9. Or if the digit sum is divisible by 3, then it will be divisible by 3 and 9 both. So that way, let us deduce the why this rule holds good for such number. So again, if I take say a b c d e, a generic number, so this I can write as a into 10 raised to power 4 plus b into 10 raised to power 3 plus c into 10 raised to power 2 plus d into 10 plus e. Now if I divide this by 3, so what am I left with? This is like by 3 plus b into 10 raised to power 3 by 3 plus c into 10 raised to power 2 by 3 plus d into 10 by 3 plus e by 3. Now from remainder theorem we know the remainders what remains here. I just show one. 10 raised to power 3 is nothing but 3 3 are 9. So what remains is 1. So it will be 1 raised to power 4 by 3 from remainder theorem. So final remainder would be 1. So here remainder is 1, right? Plus here remainder is, here also 3, when divides 10 raised to power 3, remainder would be 1. So 1 into b, here it will be c into 1, then it will be d plus e. So can we not see the remainder when any number n is divided by the number is a plus b plus c plus d plus e. That is what we did. We added the digits, and here also we are adding the digits. Now if the remainder is a multiple of 3, then the remainder would be 0. Basically, if the remainder say here comes out a plus b plus c plus d plus e comes out to be 3 or a 6 or 9. So in that case, if it comes 6, then summation 6 is actually always divisible by 3. So effective remainder would be 0. So that's what we are trying to check here. We do the digit sum. If the digit sum is divisible by 3, then that number will be divisible by 3. So this we have seen now. So if sigma a is divisible by 3, then n is divisible by 3. So I, for an example, I will take one illustration like 1 5 7 9 6 0 4 3 2 5. Yeah, that's, so we have to check whether this is divisible by 3 or not. So what I do, I just add the digits. 1 plus 5 6 plus 7 13 plus 9 22 plus 6 8 28 plus 0 28 plus 4 32 plus 3 35 37 plus 5 42. So 42 is the sum of digits. So sum of digits is 42, which is divisible by 3. So n will be divisible by 3, right? Similarly, we can see for 9. What does the rule say? Again, I just take the same example a, b, c, d, e. and A, B, C, D, E, this number n can be written as A into 10 raised to power 4 plus B into 10 raised to power 3 plus C into 10 raised to power 2 plus D into 10 plus E. So when n is divided by 9, so what I can write? A into 10 raised to power 4 plus B into 10 raised to power 3 plus C into 10 raised to power 2 plus D into 10 plus E by 9. So now with 9 here not give a remainder of 1. So here the remainder should be R1. This 10 raised to power 3 will R1. This will also give remainder of 1 and this 10 will also give remainder of 1. So effective remainder is A into 1 A plus B into 1 B plus C into 1 C plus D into 1 D E plus E by 9. So effectively what we are seeing, we are trying to check whether the sum of the digits A plus B plus C plus D plus E is divisible by 9. If that is the case, then the number is divisible by 9. So that is what we had seen in the case of 3 also. I'll take one example here. Again the same example, I mean any random 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 5, 4, 7, 8, 6, 5, 9. Let us see. So what will be the sum of digits? Sum of digits would be 2 plus 3, 5 plus 5, 10 plus 4, 14, 7, 21, 8, 29, 6, 35 plus 5, 40 plus 9, 49. So 49 is not divisible by 9, right? So here there will be a remainder. And what will be the remainder? Remainder, and again we can write and digit sum. And digit sum will be nothing but what? 4 plus 9, 13. 13 can again be in turn written as 4. So that is nothing but the remainder 4, right? Or we can divide 49 by 9, so it divides 45, that goes 5 times, and 4 is a remainder. So this way we can check and check the divisibility of 3 and 9. So now since we have seen the divisibility of all the powers of 2 and 3 and 9, so a general rule can be devised to find the divisibility of all the composite numbers. I mean, so to check the divisibility of any number by a composite number D, the number n should be divisible by all the prime factors of the number D. By prime factor I mean the highest power of the prime factor. So suppose for 6, I mean for suppose 12 I want to see, in this case divisor is 12. So 12 can be written as 2 square into 3, right? So a number n will be divisible by 12 if and only if n is divisible by 4 and n is divisible by 3. So n will be divisible by 12 only if condition A, n is divisible by all the prime factors of all the prime numbers of D, all the prime numbers raised to the highest powers. So in this case 2 is a prime number and we raise it to the highest power present there, that is 2 raised to power 2. So divisible by 2 raised to power 2, and n is divisible by another, which is 3 raised to power 1. So if both the conditions are satisfied, then n will be divisible by 12 also. So same way we can say for 14 also. 14 it will be divisible by 14 if a number is divisible by 2 and 7 both. Same for 8, if a number is divisible by 9 and 2, then the number will be divisible by 18 also. So this is fairly simple. I mean for 12 we have seen. For 18 it will be 9 into 2. For 6 it will be 2 into 3. For 14 it will be 2 into 7, 15, it will be two prime numbers 3 and 5 raised to the highest powers. So these are the possibility. I mean, this is the way we can uh, check whether any number is divisible by a composite factors. So basically what we have to do, we have to write that number as a product of co-prime numbers basically. So suppose, I mean, if I had to find for 42, so 42, then on the prime numbers I will have to take 2, 3 and 7. If it had been 84, so I had to take on the powers of 2, on the powers of 3 and on the powers of same 7. So this is the way we check. I mean, if a number divisible by 4 and 3 and 7, then that number will be divisible by 84. So this is, I mean, fairly easy concept, but again needs to be mentioned here so that I mean, now the same concept we use in this illustration. Find the number of ordered pairs AB. By ordered pairs we mean A and B will be both, I mean, different. So if the pair is 2 comma 3, so 2 comma 3 will be different than T3 comma 2, such that the number here is given as 4B is divisible by 36 and divisor is 36. So 36 we know is 2 square into 3 square. So what we will do, we will take both the prime numbers raised to their highest power, which is 2 square. So that I write as 4 and 9. So first I check the, so this n will be divisible by 36 only if n is divisible by 4, right? So divisibility of n by 4 will only be, it will be possible if 4b is divisible by 4, last two digits. So from here we can say कि b can take value of 0 or b can take a value of 4 or b can take a value of 8. Then only, I mean, last it will be 40, 44 or 48. These are the three numbers which will be divisible by 4, right? So b has a three numbers from here. Now we will check for 9, n by 9. So here what we have to, we have to digit some 1 plus 3 plus a plus 4 plus b by 9. So that means 1 plus 3 4 for 8, 8 plus a plus b should be divisible by 9. So we will just make cases here. B and then 8 plus a plus b. So if b is 0, so it becomes, so what on values can a can take, right? So that we need to find. So first, I mean, we first make 8 plus a plus b as 0, right? For n to be divisible by 9, this 8 plus a plus b should be multiple of 9. So let us start with 9 here, 0 here. So this means that a is minus 8, which is not possible. A has to be a positive integer or 0. Then again we will check 9 here. So if 8 plus a is 9, so means a is 1, right? Now we check another, that is 18 and this is 0. So here it becomes 10. A digit cannot be two digit number. It I mean, it has to be, if it's in a base system of 10, it has to be from 0 to 9. So this is not feasible, this is not feasible. So further numbers still will not be feasible. Now we will check with another, yeah, that is b is equal to 4. So if b is equal to 4 and now again 8 plus a plus a is 0. So here a will again be minus 12, negative, not possible. If 9 we take, then it becomes 8 plus 4 12. So here it is minus 3. Again this is not possible. Now 18 if we check, so 18 may be feasible. So it becomes 8 plus 4 12. So a becomes 6. This is a possible case. Now if we check with 27, then 27, so A will be double digit, so again we will not check. Now we will check with B is equal to 8. In this case, let us assume 8 plus A plus B 0. So here A will be some minus number, minus 16. If 8, 9, here it will be minus 7. If here it will be plus 2, and if again we will check, it will be plus 9. So yeah, this is not possible, this is not possible, this is possible, this is possible. So what are the possible cases we got? I mean, should not have done this, but just for the sake of your better understanding, I have broken into the finer cases. This we can manually also mentally think and get the pairs. Possible pairs of A comma B is nothing but from here we get 1 comma 0, right? Then here we get 6 comma 4. Then from here we get 2 comma 8 and 9 comma 8, right? So these are the possible pairs. Yes, so this is the way we'll solve the questions of this nature. Now, so far we have seen the cases of divisibility test for 2 and its powers, then 3 and 9. So now similarly the divisibility test for 5 and 10 is there. So any number will be divisible by 5 if the, say, for 5 raised to power 1 we just need to check the unit place digit. For 5 square we need to check the last two digits. For 5 cube we need to check the last three digits. It has the same, concept what we have seen. Just for one I will show, and then say suppose generally a b c d e, so this I can write as a into 10 raised to power 4 plus b into 10 raised to power 3 plus c into 10 raised to power 2 plus d into 10 plus e. So if I have to say check for 5 square, so what will be the remainders? Will be nothing but a into 10 raised to power 4 plus b into 10 raised to power 3 plus c into 10 raised to power 2 plus d into 10 plus e by 25, right? Which is 5 square. So we need at least two 5. So here remainder would be 0 if 25 divides this term. Here also remainder would be 0 because 25 exactly divides 1000. Here also remainder would be 0 because 25 exactly divides 100. So whatever the remainder would be there will be because of these two. So DE, the last two digits we need to check. If DE is divisible by 25, 0, then N would be divisible by, then N by 25 would give a remainder of 0, right? So this is same as the rule for 2 raised to power N. Had it been the divisibility test for 5 raised to power 3, we would have checked for the last three digits. So similarly, it can C D E upon 125. If remainder is 0, then N upon 125 would give a remainder of 0. So this is the way we can check. And for 10, it's fairly easy. Any number by 10, it will be only divisible if it has that many zeros. So suppose uh, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have to divide by 100, this is not divisible. But had this number been ending with 20, then it will be divisible. So this is same thing, I mean. So now we will move on to the further concepts. So now we will check the divisibility rules for numbers which are near to 10 raised to power n. So 10 raised to power n means, say suppose near to 10 is 911, near to 10, 100 is 99,101. So such cases we will see, though for the case of 9 we have already seen, but again I just illustrate here. So let us see. If n is a b c d e f, so this I can write as a into 10 raised to power 6 plus b into 10 raised to power 5 plus c into 10 raised to power 4 plus d into 10 raised to power 3 plus e into 10 raised to power 2 plus, sorry, this will be 5. Let us make it then f into 10 plus g, right? So this number will be divisible by 9 only when, now we divide all the terms by 9. All the terms have a power of 10, so those powers, I mean those 10 raised to power n will give a remainder of 1. So what remains as a remainder will be a plus b plus c plus d plus e plus f plus g. So if this is divided by 9, then whatever the remainder is, that remainder we will get, right? So this we have seen. Now can we also not write a b c d e f g as ab into 10 raised to power 5 plus cd into 10 raised to power 3 plus ef into 10 plus g? I have taken two digits at a time, and then accordingly the powers of 10 have adjusted now. So if this expansion I want to divide by 9, what will be the remainder? Remainder would be AB plus CD plus EF plus G, right? By 9. So what does this mean? Ki any combination of letters we can combine and then check the divisibility. Similarly, if n I write as A B C D E F G as ABC into 10 raised to power 4 plus DEF into 10 raised to power 1 plus G. Again, if I check n by 9, so remainder would be nothing but ABC plus DEF. So I mean, I what I do, I just remove one letter here. I'm just correcting everything. So here it will be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here it will be 4, 2, then 1. And here it will be 3 and then 0. 10 raised to power 0. So now see, So what is the conclusion? Conclusion I write as, if say this is equation 1, this is equation 2, and this is equation 3. So for divisibility test of 9, either I can first say कि I can check the digit sum of all the digits, sum of all the digits taken one at a time, right? If this is divisible by 9, then the number will be divisible by 9. Second, I can also take the sum of all the digits taken two at a time, or I can take sum of all the digits taken three at a time. So anything we can see, I mean, where whatever is convenient or suitably, I mean, that we can see any form we can and it's not necessary it's, I mean, the example I just explain one more example, a b c d e f g. So here if I take set 2 at a time, so it becomes ab 4 plus cd 2 plus ef into 10 plus g. So here basically remainder would be n by 9, remainder would be ab plus cd plus ef plus g. So any combinations, I mean, if a number is given, I can take 3 2 1. So it means sum of any combination of digits of odd digits can be taken to check divisibility of 9. So this is a very important concept. I mean, it's not necessary what we have learned so far कि we have to take all the digits individually and add and see whether it's divisible. Not necessary. We can even take two at a time, three at a time, or any other combination, two at a time or one at a time. Any combination we can take, and if that is divisible by 9, then the whole number will be divisible by 9. That is the basic, I mean, of this discussion. This is the basic idea which is coming out. So now, using that, I saw this example. So here n is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11, 12, so on till 40. I have to check whether this is divisible by 9 or not. So what I do, I first see these are single digits number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here to here this is 9 digits, 9 digits. And here what I do, so I have broken this into two parts. So basically n I can write as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 into 10 raised to power. Here, how many digits would be there? 10 to 40 is 31 terms. So 31 into 62 digits into 10 raised to power 62 plus 10, 11, 12, so on till 40. So this is another part, right? So n by 9, if I write n by 9, so I just check by for this 9 and for this. What I do here, I take one at a time. So summation of 1, 2, 3 till 9 is what? Sigma 9, which is 9 into n plus 1 by 2 into 10 raised to power 62 by 9. Plus here I take 2 at a time because that is easier for me to calculate, no, using AP series. So number of terms are 31, so n by 2 into first term plus last term, 10 plus 40. This is the sum of the numerator and divide that by 9. So this term here is nothing but 45 into 10 raised to power 62 by 9, and here this is nothing but uh, this becomes 50, so 31 into 25 by 9. So this basically becomes, here this will cancel out, so remainder is 0. Here it perfectly divides the numerator, so remainder is 0, and here I can write 9 3 are 27, 4 is remainder, and 9 3 are 27, so minus 2 will be remainder. So this basically, I mean, this is from remainder theorem, so this is basically minus 8. Minus 8 means plus 1. So plus 1 is the remainder here. Right. So this way we can check. So here what is the remainder? So remainder is 1. So basically what we did, I mean, one method could have been we could have added all the digits 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 0 1 1 1 2, but that would have become tedious. We don't, I mean, we'd have to then again add all the 71 digits. So what we did basically, we divided this number into two parts. In first of the part we added all the single digits number, and the second part we added the numbers taking two at a time, and we know we can take any combination to check with 9. So that's what we did, and we obtained the number using remainder theorem. Those of you who are finding difficult to comprehend the remainder theorem may revisit our sessions on remainders. From there we know remainders follow the rule of multiplication. So from that I use that. Now using the same thing uh, for 11 also we can see if a b c d e f is a number. So this can be written as a into 10 raised to power 5 plus b into 10 raised to power 4 plus c into 10 raised to power 3 plus d into 10 raised to power 2 plus e into 10 plus f. So if I divide n by 11, what will be it? Here, see, 10 upon 11 remainder is minus 1, right? So minus 1 raised to power odd powers will give a minus remainder. So here it will be minus a, here it will be plus b, because minus 1 raised to power n by 11. So this I can write as by 11 here. So now 11, 10 by 11 is minus 1 raised to power 4 is plus 1. So that here. So minus c plus d minus e plus f. So can we see we are just alternate what we are doing? We are finding b plus d plus f minus a plus c plus e. So this is nothing but the rule is start from right unit digits and find the alternate sum, right? So here a b c d e f, so I start from f, so f plus d plus b, so it becomes f plus d plus b minus, now whatever is left, that is a plus c plus e, a plus c plus e, those I subtract. So if this term is divisible by 11, if this term is divisible by 11, then the number would be divisible by 11. That is what is obtained here. So if this by 11 remainder is 0, then n by 11 remainder would be 0, right? So this is the divisibility test for 11. What is it? We will find the alternate sum of the digits and then subtract the one from the another. If the net final number is divisible by 11, then the whole number n will be divisible by 11. So basically I just take one example here to solve. Example 1 3 5 7 9 6 5 2 4 3, this way. So I have to check whether this number is divisible by 11 or not. So what I do, I add the digits. 4 plus 2 plus 6, 6 6 12, 12 7 19, 19 3 22. So it becomes 3 plus 7 plus 6. Rather, we start from right. So it becomes, let me delete this. 4 plus 2 plus 6 plus 7 plus 3 minus the other numbers. 1 plus 5 plus 9 plus 5 plus 3. So what is this? This becomes 4 2 6 6 2 and 7 19 3 22, and here it becomes 1 plus 5 6 9 15 15 5 20 plus 3 23. So it is minus 1. Since minus 1 is not divisible by 11, so hence this n is not divisible by 11. What will be remainder? Remainder would be minus 1. Minus 1 means 10. 10 will be positive remainder. Now find the remainder when, this is an example, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 so on till 40 is divided by 11 and 22 respectively. So first I check with 11. So what is the rule for 11? Achha, here again we may see one more thing before proceeding to that example. If I write A B C D E F as AB into 10 raised to power 4 plus CD into 10 raised to power 4 plus EF. Now AB, CD, EF when divided by 11, here what would be the, yeah, see here it is AB plus CD plus EF, right? Because all the powers are even only, even powers, right? All the powers are even. So minus 1 raised to power 4 will give a remainder 1, minus 1 raised to power 2. So basically here it means if we take 2 at a time, then we need not do alternate, I mean s- uh, subtraction. Rather, it should be the sum of the two digits taken at a time. And if that sum is divisible by 11, then the number n will be divisible by 11. So if this is divisible by 11, then n by 11 would be divisible by 11. So this is what it means. But for that, we will have to take the numbers from right hand side, right? So that we will see now again. So what happens, I mean, in case of if we are taking one at a time, then it will be alternate sum. If we are taking two at a time, then we will just make a pair from right hand side and add the numbers two at a time. If the net addition is divisible by 11, then the whole number will be divisible by 11. So now we will use the same concept here. We will break this into two parts, from 1 to 9 and from 10 to 40. Here the number of digits is 9 and here number of digits we have seen this 10 to 40 31 numbers, 31 to 2 62 digits should be here, right? So we will, for n raised by 11, we will take this independently 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 into 10 raised to power 62 by 11 plus 10 11 12 so on 10 40 by 11. Here we will do the alternate one thing. So basically what we will do, we check from the right hand side. Right hand side we will check 9 plus 7 16, 16 plus 5 21, 21 3 24, 1 25. So it becomes 25 minus 2 plus 4 6, 6 6 12, 12 with 20. So minus 20 by 11. This is the remainder here. And here it will be minus, I mean into 1. Minus 1 raised to power 62 is 1. In this case we will take the pairwise sum. 10, 11, 12 this way. So what will be the sum? This is a 10 plus 11 plus 12 is a AP series. So it will be, and 31 numbers are there. So 31 by 2 into 10 plus 40 by 11. So this we can write as 5 by 11 as a remainder, and here it will be nothing but 31 into 25 by 11. So this we can further write as 5 plus 31 uh, by 11 means it is minus 2 as a remainder, and 25 by 11 is plus 3 as a remainder. So this becomes 5 minus 6, which is minus 1 as a remainder, minus 1 by 11, which effectively means remainder is 10 here. Remainder n by 11 is 10, right? So this we can, the first part we have solved. Find the remainder when it is 10. Now for 2 we will have to see. So here we can write the number n as 11 k1 plus 10. For 2 n by, I mean for 22, see n by 22, 22 we can write as 2 into 11, right? So if a number is divided by both 11 and 2, then it will be divided by 22. So we will check for 20 n by 2. So n by 2, uh, what would be the remainder? This number is ends with 0, even number. So it will be 0 only. So hence we can write n is nothing but 2k2. This is first, this is second. So from first and second, I can write that 2k2 is nothing but uh, 10k1 plus k1 plus 10, right? So this is a multiple, RHS is a multiple of 2, so RHS should be a multiple of 2. So this term should be a multiple of 2. So what is the lowest value of k1? K1 is equal to 0, gives this is a multiple of 2. So we substitute k1 is equal to 0 here in 1. So this gives n is equal to nothing but 10, and this becomes the remainder also, right? So remainder, this implies, I mean total remainder. So basically n by 22 will give a remainder of 10. Similar problem we have seen in remainders chapter also. So this should be easy. Only thing we have used the concept of divisibility to find this step. That's what. Now find the number of ordered pair a comma b such that the number a2 a3 b is divisible by 11. So a2 a3 b by 11. So what I do, I just, this will be nothing but a, I mean from right hand side I check b plus a plus a minus 2 plus 3 minus 5 should be divisible by 11. So this becomes, I mean this should be 0 or 11k. right? So 2a plus b minus 5 is equal to nothing but 11k. So there can be cases like, see, first case is 2a plus b minus 5 is equal to 0. So this gives 2a plus b is equal to 5. So what are the possible values of a and b? If a is 1, b is 3. If a is 2, b is 1. That's it, right? A cannot be 0, otherwise, I mean, a can be 0 also, but say, I mean, if I take a 0, it will be 5. But in that case, this will not remain a 5-digit number, it will become 4-digit number, right? Let me make the question more specific. 5-digit number. So this case we will not take. Now, second case we will check. We will check with 2a plus b minus 5 is 11. So from here I can write 2a plus b is equal to 16. So if a is equal to 1, no solution. A is equal to 2, no solution, because b will be more than 10. A is equal to 3, also, then b is equal to 10. A is equal to 4, A is 4, so b is 8. A is 5, b is 6. A is 6, b is 4. A is 7, 2. A is 8, b can be 0. So these are the possible cases from here. Then I take third case. 2a plus b minus 5 is equal to 22. So here it becomes 2a plus b is equal to 27. So now a, b cases are, if a is equal to 4, not possible. 5, then also not possible. Let's check with, try with a is equal to 9. So 18, b is equal to 9. That's the only case possible. Otherwise, nothing possible. So what are the possible pairs of a and b? Ordered pairs is nothing but from here 1 comma 3, then 2 comma 1, from here 5 cases, 4 comma 8, 5 comma 6, 6 comma 4, then 7 comma 2, 8 comma 0, then 9 comma 9. So there are 2 plus 5, 7 plus 1, 8 cases total, right? So this is the way we can solve the question of this. I mean, the concept of divisibility was used here only. Okay, this should be equal to, the remainder should be 0 here. So that it means it should be a multiple of 11k. So similarly, divisibility rule of 99, because we know that 100 upon 99, remainder is 1. So if a number is of a b c d e f, so this I can write as ab into 10 raised to power 4 plus cd into 10 raised to power 2 plus ef. So a b c d e f by 99, it becomes ab plus cd plus ef. So sum of the two digits taken at a time, right? Had the number been a b c d e f g, then it would have been ab into 10 raised to power 5. No, so we will take here a into 10 raised to power 6 plus bc into 10 raised to power 4 plus de into 10 raised to power 2 plus fg. So this a b c d e f g upon 99 would give a remainder of a plus bc plus DE plus FG. So what we are doing basically, the one test is you make a pair from right hand side. So rule is, this is one of the rule. We can make many rule upon the combination. Uh, Rule is make a pair of digits from right and add odd such pairs. If the sum is divisible by 99, then n would be divisible by 99, right? So this is one of the way, and this is the most simple one. This is the most simple rule for 99. Other rule also we can form, but that would be even complicated. So let's retain this only. And then similarly for 101, again if it is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, sorry, not G, let us remove G first. So this we can write as AB into 10 raised to power 4 plus CD into 10 raised to power 2 plus EF, right? So ABCDEF by 101 would give a remainder of, now see, 100 upon 101, remainder is minus 1, right? Minus 1. So minus 1, and here it's 10 raised to power 4. So basically this becomes minus 1 raised to power 2. So on the even powers, no, so remainder would be 1 in that case. Remainder would be 1. So it becomes AB plus CD plus EF, right? No, no, sorry. Let us take even, I mean, EFGH. So this becomes AB into 10 raised to power 2 6 plus CD into 10 raised to power 4 plus EF into 10 raised to power 2 plus GH, right? So now ABCDEFGH by 101, the remainder would be AB into 10 raised to power 2 into 3, we can write this, CD into 10 raised to power 2 raised to power 2, EF into 10 raised to power 2 plus GH. This we have to divide by 10 raised to power 101, right? So now see, here what is this 100, 10 raised to power 2 by 101, remainder is minus 1, minus 1 raised to power 3 is minus 1 here. So here remainder is minus 1. Here remainder would be 1, and here remainder would be minus 1. So basically the remainder what remains is minus AB plus CD minus EF plus GH. So rule becomes make pair of digits from right, then add the alternate pairs, find the effective sum, net sum. So if the net sum means, I mean, uh, on the odd pairs minus even pairs, or any possible combination. If the net sum is divisible by 101, then n is divisible by 101. So basically, this is the most simplest rule for 101. We can frame other rules also, but that will become a bit tedious and lengthier and practically non-usable anywhere. So I mean, we just go by this only. And net sum means ki we are adding from the right hand side, right? GH plus CD plus, so this sum minus AB plus EF. So that is what I mean here. That is GH plus CD minus AB plus EF. So this way we can find. So that was, I mean, not so practically used cases we saw for this 99 and 101. But what we are going to see now for 7, 11, and 30, that's a quite vastly used, and that concept would be used at many places. I mean, in number systems. So let us understand this when. So now the divisibility rule of 7, 11, and 13. We will use the similar concepts what we have done so far. So let us see now. First, we know that 1000 if divided by 7. Let us see what is it. So the remainder is minus 1, right? So when we say minus 1, then I mean this should click to us something. So let us take an example now. If a number is, for 7 we are seeing 7. So n by 7 we will see. Let's suppose n is A B C D E F G H, right? So what we will do, uh, we know that 1000 by 7 gives a remainder of minus 1. So we will make the pair of three, I mean a group of three digits from right hand side, right? So I write this as FGH plus CDE into 10 raised to power 3 plus AB into 10 raised to power 5, right? This is N. So this by 7 would be, yeah, right? Now see, if it is 10 by 4, what would be the remainder? By 7. So this becomes 3 by 4 by 7. So that is nothing but 81 by 7, right? So this is minus 3 remainder, that is 4. If it is 10 by 5, so it will be 3 raised to power 5 by 7. So this becomes 243 by 7. Here it becomes 5. So I think we should take another case here. I mean, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H may not be I mean, suitable case here. So I take A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, so that that pair of three is there. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, 3, 3, 3. Okay. Let this be the number. Hmm. So we know one thing, 10 raised to power 3 upon 7 gives a remainder of minus 1. So from here we also know 10 raised to power 6 will give a remainder of plus 1. Right. So now let us see this. How we can write A, B, C into 10 raised to power 9 plus D, E, F into 10 raised to power 6 plus G, H, I into 10 raised to power 3 plus J, K, N. This is the way we can write. And now we know that every power of 3 gives a minus 1. So here the remainder would be minus 1. This becomes minus ABC plus DEF minus GHI plus JKN. Right. So n by 7, the remainder would be this minus ABC plus DEF minus GHI plus JKN. So if this is divisible by 7, then the number n would be divisible by 7. So the rule is group the digits in block of 3 from right hand side. The number will be divisible by 7 if the net alternate sum of all the block of 3 digits are divisible by 7. So that is the case here. I take one example. Say suppose 2, 3, 5, 9, 4, 7, 6. So what I do, I make a group of 3. Here only one, so I write 2, 0, 0. So this way. So what I do, I add 476 plus 002. This becomes 478, and the other group is 359, so that I will subtract. So it becomes 119. So if 119 is divisible by 7, let us see. Yes, this is divisible by 7. So 119 by 7, the remainder is 0. So therefore the number n by 7 remainder would be 0. So this is the this rule we can use. We take the alternate sum starting from the right, sum of the three digits at a time, and then take the alternate sum and subtract the other to get the final remainder. If that is divisible by 7, then the whole number will be divisible by 7. This is one concept. Now see another thing. Here I'll also show one more thing. If I divide 1000 by 11, so 11. So this I can write as minus 1 raised to power 3 by 11 remainder, which will be nothing but minus 1. So here I mean, so 1000 divided by 11 also gives minus 1, same as 7. So for 11 also the similar rule would apply, and this we have already seen in the previous cases. In case of 11 we had seen that similarly for 13, if we see, if I divide 1000 by 13, it will be 13 7 91, 9 here, it will be 0. 7 are 91. So remainder is again minus 1. So in all the cases of 7, 11 and 13, the remainder when 10 raised to power 3 is divided by those numbers is minus 1. So therefore, for the same reason, the divisibility rule for 7, 11, 13 is same. That is, we group the digits in a block of 3 digits from right hand side, and then we find the alternate sum and subtract the other pair. If the final remainder or the resultant sum is divisible by 7 or 11 or 13, then the respective number itself would be divisible by 7, 11, 13. That is one case. Secondly, we have also seen that since 10 raised to power 3 upon 7 or 11 or 13 is giving a remainder of minus 1. So 10 raised to power 6 upon 7 or 11 or 13 would give a remainder of plus 1, right? This we have seen in the chapters on remainders. So if this we know, then can we not say any digit repeated 6 times or any multiple of 6 times will always be divisible by 7, 11, 13? Because this I show it here, any digits repeated 6 times. So say any digit repeated 6 times. So that we say a or multiple of 6. So a, right? So what will be? We can write this as a into 10 raised to power 3 plus a. Now when we divide this n by either 7 or 11 or 13, what will be the remainder? That will be a triple a into 10 raised to power 3 upon 7 or 11 or 13 plus we know that 10 raised to power 3 upon 7 or 11 or 13 gives a remainder of minus 1. So these terms become minus a, and here it is. So this is nothing but 0. So it means that any digits repeated 6 times or a multiple of 6 will be always be divisible by 7 or 11 or 13. So that is what it's written here. Any digit repeated 6 times or any multiple of 6 times would always be divisible by 7, 11, 13. That we have seen here. So now we'll see an example. We find the value of y such that this number where both 4 and 6 are repeated 98 times is divisible by 7. So basically number is 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, then y, then 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Right? Here number of digits is 98, and similarly from 6 to here the number of digits is 98, right? So just now we saw that uh, and we have to check the divisibility for 7. Just now we saw that any digits repeated 6 times will be divisible by 7, right? Any digit repeated 6 times will be divisible by 7. So for the and this 98 we can write in a block of 16 times. So 6 into 16 will give this 96. So 2 fours will remain here. So I can write this as 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. So here this is 96 digits, right? Then y 6, 6, then 6, 6. this is again 96 digits, and here it remains. So now the first part of 96 digits of 4 will be divisible by 7 because it's a multiple of 6 times. Similarly, the last part, 96 digits of 6 will be divisible by 7 because that is repeated 96 times, which is a multiple of 6. So for this number to be divisible, the middle part 4 4 y 6 6 has to be divisible by 7, right? Or if I can break this, I can write this as 44 into 10 to the power 3 plus y into 10 to the power 2 plus 66. The remainder should be 0, implying 44 I can write as 2 into, and this gives minus 1. So this becomes minus 2 plus, here 100 upon 7 is 7 30 and 91. So 9y, and 66 gives plus 3 as remainder, right? So this is the remainder here. So this remainder should be, so this should be what, 7k form, right? So that is nothing but, if I can simplify, 7k is equal to 9y plus 1, right? So this is what we have seen. So if I can simplify this, 7k is equal to 7y plus 2y plus y. Now since LHS is a multiple of 7, RHS should also be a multiple of 7. So this part should be a multiple of 7. So here y is equal to nothing but 3. Y is equal to 3 gives a multiple of 7, the smallest value of y. So at y is equal to 3, we get uh, this as 28, right? So nothing but 7k, it means that 7k is 28. This means k is equal to 4, right? Oh, sorry, we have to find the value of y only. So y we have got as 3. So what is the value of y, which is 3? This is the answer for us. Can we have another value of y? Let us see. Then the next value would be 10. Then only 2y plus 1 should be multiple of 7. So uh, first at y is equal to 3 we will get, then at y is equal to 10 we will get, right? So 10 cannot be possible because y has to be a single digit number. So y is equal to 3 is the only answer, right? This part we can remove. So we'll see one more example. There is a number less than, n is a number less than 10 raised to power 100 and divisible by 13. Find the value of n. How many values of n are possible if n is formed by only 3 each? Okay. So see, I mean, if 10 raised to power 2 is 100, right? 10 raised to power 3 is 1000. So 10 raised to power 2 is a 3-digit number. 10 raised to power 3 is a 4-digit number. So 10 raised to power 100 is a 101 digit number. But this is less than that, so n should be 100-digit number, right? So n is a 100-digit number and it's formed by only 3. So 3, 3, so on, 3, 3, 100 digits. I mean, it's not necessarily 100 digits only, less than 100 digits. So it can be, less than 100 digits. Less than 101 digits. So means less than 100, I mean less than or equal to 100 digits. So now we have to see here. We know that any digits repeated 6 times, any digit repeated 6 times will be divisible by 13. This we know. Why? Because 10 raised to power 3 upon 13 is minus 1. So 10 raised to power 6 upon 13 would be plus 1. From there we have seen that ABC minus ABC will cancel out. So either uh, one number could be 3 3 3 3 3 3. This is one case. Another number could be 3 3 6 digits. Another number could be 12 digits, right? So on. I mean, then or multiple of 6 times, 18 digits, so on. So it can go up to 96 digits, right? So how many cases are possible? 16 cases, 6 to 96. So 16 possible numbers. This is the answer, right? Because we know कि any digit repeated 6 times or the multiple of 6 times will be divisible by 13. So I mean, what are the possible cases? 6, 12, 18, so on till 96. So that is, yeah. So here we end this basic part. In the next part, we will see some moderate and miscellaneous cases of divisibility. So thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions or concern, you can post in the comment box or you can refer our website for the same. Thanks.